Hi everybody, this is Noelle. We're in Jason's garden, and his raised garden beds have been super productive this year.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
And we are kind of we're in August, so we're I guess it's late summer. I didn't even think about it, but late summer, and he has been harvesting, and he told me earlier that he's been off this week, lucky him, and he had harvested every day for 4 days.
It was ridiculous. And it was a wonderful blessing, but it was a lot of work. Just I'm like coming out here with a bucket this big, just going, all right, fill it up, walk it back up, all right, fill it back up, walk it back up.
And your neighbor already stopped by today and was like, the tomatoes Jason gave me yesterday were the best tomatoes ever. So that's really nice. It's really cool. So Jason, we were talking about, because we covered lettuces today, we covered peppers, we covered tomatoes, but now we're everything else in the garden.
Yep.
And pretty early on, you had harvested the broccoli, pulled the broccoli afterwards because it was not producing the side shoots that you kind of hoped it would.
Yep.
Brussels sprouts are still hanging in there, developing very slowly.
Yeah, that's a patient crop.
Yes, it is. So if you grow your Brussels sprouts, folks, it is a cold crop, but literally you plant it as a cold crop and then you have to wait the entire season and harvest it when it gets cold again. So it's not a fast cold crop, not by any means, no fast turnover.
No, not at all.
And then you had peas develop early on, and those, I mean, they were gone like that, especially when the heat of the summer came on.
Yeah.
And in their place, Jason has all these beans, kind of unusual beans.
Yep.
I sampled for the first time in my life a red Chinese noodle bean.
Yep.
Okay. And so did you. It was the first time ever.
Yeah.
So, needless to say, those are really cool seed variety, folks. We did not grow those at Petitti's, but those are really good. So needless to say, those have come on later in the season for you. And then cucumbers. Tell us about your cucumber trials this year.
So the quantity of cucumbers has been incredible. I've made probably a dozen or so jars of refrigerated pickles, which tasted amazing. Cucumber salad multiple times. Now, I've harvested probably 40 to 50 cucumbers, which ordinarily you'd be like, wow, except I planted 30 plants.
Yeah.
So they're about done. I mean, probably in the next week, I'll maybe be able to sneak out 5 or 6 more. The one thing with the cucumbers that next season, I will have a different setup. You have to rotate your crops, but I will have a bean-specific bed, a cucumber-specific bed, but it's going to be narrow and long as opposed to short and boxy because they took over. They took over. The setup wasn't really ideal for premium yield. Still got a lot, but given the quantity of plants was a little disappointing.
Yeah. And so your beets were fantastic. We've got a beautiful beet right here. Beets turned out just fine. Onions, I mean, gorgeous onions. And so you were saying always start from an onion set. Like a mini onion, if you will. Starting from seed takes a much longer time.
That's something, if you do from seed, you want to start from seed.
Oh yeah.
February, beginning of March. The onion sets are really easy.
Yeah.
They're going to be about yay big. You can get them.
Pop them in the ground.
Yeah, you just go poop, 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 done.
Yeah. So, and you've been harvesting onions and scallions and things, but right now you're starting to see that leaf die back, so you're just yanking.
Yeah, I planted between the Dutch red shallots and just the traditional yellow bulk that you sell. About 150 to 160 onions, and I've started harvesting them probably a month ago for the biggest ones. But now with onions, as the neck part dies back, you can wait about a week or so for the skin to thicken up, but then you can start harvesting them. That variety stores quite well.
Yeah, very cool. And then carrots. So we were noticing, we were just talking about carrots are very slow. regardless of if you're starting from seed, well, you usually start from seed because they do not transplant well.
At all.
But they are pretty darn slow. I mean, this is a good looking carrot you have here, but this has been in the ground since April.
That's at least a month and a half to 2 months old.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
And they're just slow.
Yeah, they're just slow. And we did want to show you this. So this is one of Jason's carrots too, but be aware, again, these carrots were blooming. So you can't let them go to bloom or you lose all of your energy. It goes right into the flower and the seed development. And then you get little skinny, what do we call these?
Little carrot strings. Shoestring carrots.
Shoestring carrots. So, you know, a gourmet delicacy.
Yes. Now, what you're saying, Noelle, that actually applies for all of your rooting vegetables.
Yeah.
Your turnips, your radishes, your beets. Beets don't really flower that much, but your carrots, anything that you're eating the root, when it starts to flower, that root is done growing. So if you start to see unusually large growth, you're going to have to be mindful that either A, you might need to pull it, or B, you're going to have to stay on top of cutting that flower stalk, always cutting it back so that you're putting that root and energy and all that sugar back into that root, which is, in this case, what you're eating.
Yeah, really, really important. So I think we've covered just about everything, Jason. We're going to be back, folks, later in the season, in the fall, because we are going to put the garden to bed as well.
Yep.
But for right now, keep harvesting, keep removing any of the spotted leaves, you know, diseased leaves, anything like that.
Yep.
And just keep those plants growing right now, keep them fed and watered, and you'll have a harvest well into fall. Enjoy.
Take care.